Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I am talking about the Hasbro Fanstream, the cool Fanstream that was just airing. I guess this is a little news breakdown. Before I go too much further, I feel the need to acknowledge the fact that I am indeed very, very sick, and I sound pretty nasally and gross. I'm probably going to sniff a couple times. I'm probably going to cough a couple times during this video, so I apologize. If I didn't record this now, there would be no point in recording it later. So this is the world that we live in. So sorry. But no, this was a very cool fan stream. I feel like I might title this video "Dan Yun is a liar." Fan stream breakdown type of thing. Because he said not to set our expectations too high because this isn't going to be that special of a show, and he was wrong. This was actually a very very cool show. Lots of cool and exciting things were announced today, so I am very happy with what this show produced. Of course, we start off with our three hosts, the regular guys we see every time they do a fan stream. Ryan, Dwight, and Dan, of course, our lovely three little hosts. And they wanted to start the show off by going over stuff we've already seen, which is typical, I suppose. Just going over the Deadpool little re-release of these two figures, which is, in my opinion, I really appreciate when they re-release figures like these. And I don't know for sure, but I believe these are slightly updated to be pinless, but I don't know for sure. I'm not 100% on that, so don't take my word for it. But at the very least, these are re-releases, so they showed off the packaging, what you're going to get with the packages, of course, just what you got last time if you were around to collect these figures when they first released, which I was not. You're just getting these again, and I appreciate that so much because I did not get my hands on these. I almost got my hands on. There's a version of Deadpool that released not too long ago, part of like that weird Fox wave they were doing where they were releasing Fox characters, and it was a Deadpool but in the muted colors. It was like, I forget the name of it. It's like the smoky Deadpool, gray Deadpool, something like that. It's like at the end of the movie where his colors are like really drained because he's been through so many fights. He's very sooty from being on fire and stuff. Blah blah blah. Not necessarily on fire, but fire around him. Whatever. You guys know what I mean. It was that, and I almost got my hands on it because it was relatively cheap. I remember it wasn't like cheap. It was like $40, and like for a Deadpool figure at the time, that was reasonable. But I ended up waiting, and I'm glad I did because this is the Deadpool figure I wanted more, anyways. So I'm very excited there. And same with the Wolverine. I have the Wolverine with the leather jacket, so I don't need this one, but I still kind of really want it. I do love Wolverine. He's one of my favorite characters. It's Spider Man, Wolverine, Deadpool, and then from there, we'll break it down, but that's another video, what I'm talking about. Yeah, just showing off these guys that we've already seen, and then they again showed off a wave that I don't know if it was officially announced. I know we saw it. We saw it at a convention. I don't know the name of the convention, but we've seen these figures, a part of the Iron Man retro wave. Lots of cool figures. The Iron Man Model 1 gold version, the Iron Man Model 20. It looks pretty cool. He kind of looks a little bit like the Extremis, I think. Maybe just a hair, just a twinge I'm getting from that. Uh, the version I am most excited for because he kind of looks like Mega Man, and I don't need any other Iron Man, so if I'm going to get one, I'd want it to look cool and unique like this. Is the Iron Man Model 9. He looks absolutely astonishing. I love the look of this Iron Man with the big boots and the gauntlets. Very wild looking Iron Man, so I'm very excited for that one. But the figure I'm actually most excited for from this entire wave is, of course, the beautiful looking She Hulk with her classic style costume, the cool gun that she's like broken in half, the vibrant green colors, and her beautiful hair. Love that figure. I think she looks great. I can't wait for that figure. Hopefully, I can get my hands on it. And then, of course, Whiplash and Count Nefaria, two figures that look cool. I don't care about them in any way. So, but this whole wave, of course, looks absolutely wonderful. Sorry if you guys can hear the wind behind me. It's kind of crazy right now. But yes, very exciting. I saw a comment, and I very much agree. Ever since the Mindless One wave, they have been killing it, and I wasn't as hard on Hasbro as others have been. I don't think they're as bad as others were saying, but there was a down period for a little while, and I agree. Ever since I'd say the Mindless One wave, they have been absolutely killing it with wave after wave of wonderful looking characters and single releases of wonderful looking characters, and it's kind of a shame. It's a good thing and a bad thing. It's a good thing because awesome action figures, and it's a bad thing because I can't afford all these figures, and it's super frustrating um, to want so much. I guess I'm burdened by what's the phrase? Burdened by success or something like that. So it's been a very exciting time for Hasbro Marvel Legends. Even though the business is currently down right now, it's been a very wonderful time as a collector. Then they went on to talk about they've done a lot of anniversary series as of late. They did, of course, the Spider-Man, the 80th anniversary, the Infinity Saga, which I guess is anniversary, Marvel 10th anniversary, the MCU stuff, the Avengers 60th anniversary. Lots of anniversaries happening. And currently, I believe right now we're in the Wolverine anniversary era, so it's more of a marketing gimmick than anything. It doesn't actually mean that much, but it's nice to celebrate these milestones when we get to them. And then this year is, of course, another technical milestone. It's the 85th anniversary, which I guess counts. It's not like the most what 85th, like it's cool. I'm happy we're here. For a while I was kind of confused what they were going on about. I was like, are we seeing re-releases of some of these waves? Like, we could use a re-release of the Captain America and some of the Marvel Studios figures that I missed out on, but we're kind of seeing that with the Infinity Saga waves. I don't know, it's kind of the marketing behind this is a little muddied and a little confusing, so I'm a little lost on what some of these are. Um, but I was like, okay, what are we leading into? And then that's when they announced, yes, we're doing the 85th anniversary, which is its own, not wave. They're not like tied together in any way. They're all just kind of just figures that just exist from the ether. Just pull these figures down from the thought bubble, and we'll make the 85th anniversary out of these characters. It has no relation to anything whatsoever. I don't really understand. Like I said, the marketing behind this is a little like, okay, sure, 85th of him, yeah, okay. So it's not a wave. It's just figures that exist in this title. And of course, the first one we got was the astonishing X-Men Wolverine, which looks stunning. It is, of course, we've seen blue and yellow Wolverine before. We've had one that just released not too long ago with X-Men 97. One before that not too long ago, too, with the hot hands. Blue and yellow Wolverine is a common figure we've seen. This one specifically is the astonishing X-Men version of the blue and yellow costume, which, if you're an astonishing X-Men fan like me, is wonderful to have. I love this design, this look of Wolverine. I think this is probably my favorite era of X-Men. It's the one I grew up with, so of course it's my favorite era. So it looks absolutely astonishing, I guess would be the word. But the thing that excites me most about this, not that the figure isn't exciting, but the fact that they're still releasing astonishing X-Men figures and characters tells me we're going to keep getting more astonishing X-Men characters and figures, which means we could see a Bobby Drake astonishing X-Men, a Colossus astonishing X-Men, and the one that excites me the most is a Beast astonishing X-Men, the kitty cat version of Beast. The version I like the most, personally, I think he's wonderful. He's right up there alongside X-Men 97 for me because that is, of course, the thing that's currently in my mind, and it's the thing I'm thinking of most recently. So obviously, it's like, oh, I love that version too. But I love that version of Beast. But the thing that beats that version is, of course, the Astonishing X-Men Beast. So hopefully, the fact that we're getting more of these Astonishing X-Men figures means we're going to keep getting more, and we'll get to that point where we get my favorite Astonishing X-Men Beast. But beyond that, the Wolverine looks wonderful. The articulation has been, I think they use the term ultimate. This is the ultimate version of articulation, which is basically they took the Spider-Man articulation and gave it to Wolverine, which I love. We need to see that across the board with all the other body types. The short, the small, the thick, the skinny, all need to have this body type, and I'm very excited that they're giving it to Wolverine. He has of course, the diaphragm cut, the regular ab crunch, the butterfly joints, the pinless elbows, the double jointed elbows, the neck, everything about it. Love it, love it, love it. I love what they're doing with this figure. He comes with a couple accessories, not a lot, just a couple hands, a couple unique hands, of course. He has like a pointing hand, a splayed out hand, his regular old fists, the claws, has his unmasked head. This is a very cool looking action figure just across the board. And I believe it's like a single release, so that's where it's like confusing, but it's also releasing alongside another figure that's getting announced later on. It's super, I don't know what they're doing with this, not wave, but this thing that they're releasing, and whatever. But I think it looks very cool, that figure. And then after that, they talked about him for quite a while, so let me find what they talked about next. I believe, yes, Ms. Marvel, this wonderful looking Ms. Marvel. This is my favorite look for Captain Marvel. I understand why we've moved on from this way of presenting female characters. It's that old style meme from way back in the 2010s of like men's armor is like this, and it's like a guy in like full armor, and then female armor is like this, and it's like a breastplate, and that's it. And that's how it was for females for a long time, and I understand why we're past that. But some characters, like Ms. Marvel, had this look to them that I just really, really liked. And her new look is fine. I get it. She's a cop. She's militaristic. I just don't vibe with it as much as I vibed with this one, which I understand it's totally impractical. It looks totally goofy, and I get this isn't something we could like pull off on like the big screen, so you gotta kind of like update that character, make her look a little bit more, like a thing you would see. You wouldn't see this because this is like silly, but still, from the comics, I love this look. It's the look I grew up with. It's the first time I saw Captain Marvel was this look in the Ultimate X, or not Ultimate, Ultimate Alliance. Yes, Ultimate, not Ultimate X-Men, but Ultimate Alliance. Whatever. In those video games is the first time I saw her, and she looked like this. So it's a look I've been missing, and I'm glad to see it in action figure form. And of course, it comes with that ultimate style articulation that we saw with the Black Widow, with the diaphragm cut, the ab crunch, the butterfly joints, everything like that looks wonderful on her, just like it did on Black Widow. And of course, it comes with two head sculpts. And the thing I saw immediately, I saw this, and I'm like, okay, you paint her hair white, you paint her body, just black it up, you have yourself a really awesome black cat. Because she has that perfect black cat style mask. Her hair is obviously yellow. You just get a paintbrush, paint it white. There you go. You have an awesome figure right there. You buy two of these, and you can make a really, really cool custom with doing a very small amount of work. So this figure, I can't wait to have this figure in my collection, just for two major reasons. So I'm very, very excited for this Captain Marvel. What's her name? Warbird version. I can't wait. She looks great. Then after that, we got something a little bit more. How'd they put it? Superior Superior Spider-Man, of course, this is a figure we've known Superior Spider-Man was coming because, of course, a Superior Spider-Man is coming. Uh, and it looks great. I can't wait to have this figure because I love this costume. The way they have the crazy web effects on the mask and the body and the spider that kind of engulfs the whole lower half of his body, like it kind of melts into this blackness. It's such a perfect design. I really love the way they pulled this off. And then of course we we have seen this figure before, but this one specifically comes with the legs, which did not happen on the previous release. Of course, this also comes with the updated articulation and all that, but more importantly, it comes with the legs, so that's very exciting. And it looks like the legs can be removed, like they're on a little backpack and you just pop it off and it's like on a little pinhole in the back. Looks like, I don't know for sure, it does have like a swappable backpack, so obviously I'm pretty sure, I'm not gonna bet any money on it because, I could be wrong. And it looks great. It looks even better than the Iron Spider that we got not too long ago. I like that figure, don't get me wrong. It was pretty expensive for what it was. But my main issue is the legs, once they're on there, it's like kind of cumbersome and kind of like, this takes up a lot of room and you can't remove the legs. I mean, you can take the legs off, but you still have that big bulbous backpack, so it just looks wrong without the legs. So you got to have the legs on there. That issue is solved with this Spider-Man because the legs can just pop them off and you're good to go. And then the other thing they wanted to do with this figure, because they said something about like, when we do a Spider-Man figure, it really has to like be great because there's so many Spider-Man figures. You don't want to just release another Spider-Man figure, so you have to do something pretty cool and exciting to make it, interesting. And for this one, they talked about how in the comics, when you're reading a Superior Spider-Man book, the thing you notice is on his lenses, it always is reflecting the city. So with this figure, what they did is they painted on basically like a cityscape on his lenses, and it looks really cool. I thought what he was talking about was they were going to make his lenses reflective, which I think would have been also pretty cool. But no, it's painted on cityscape, and it looks cool. But if you don't like it, they gave you an alternate head that's just plain white because, you might not like it. It might not fit your display. It might look a little goofy to have your Spider-Man displaying a city when you're not even necessarily built for that. Like maybe you have a diorama and it's not a city, or it's not daytime, or it's whatever, all sorts of different reasons why it could be unwanted to have that mask. So they gave you the alternate head sculpt, and that's what I appreciate about Hasbro of late is they are taking those things into consideration. They are acknowledging like people might not like the arms being on there, so let's make it so you can take them off. People might not like this head sculpt, so let's give them a different one that kind of suits both sides of the argument, and I appreciate that. So this Superior Spider-Man looks wonderful. I can't wait to have him in my collection because I have to have every Spider-Man I can find. Then after that, of course, we saw another figure that we've all known about. We've all seen it. It's been teased. The Scar. And initially, my first thoughts when I saw this guy was, this isn't what I really picture when I think of Scar. In the sense that it's not that he's... I don't know. It's not that he's like too big. It's that he's... I don't know. I just imagine Scar skinnier. Not as muscular, but just like more lean, I guess. This looks too close to the Hulk side of the equation. I guess. I don't know. He looks fine, but I'm picturing Scar, and I mostly imagine like a Jen Walters, but maybe a little bigger, because he's like a teenage Hulk, kind of, right? So this guy, he's pretty muscular, pretty big. He looks great. I'm not going to say, oh, I don't want this figure. This figure sucks. No, this figure looks great. It's just, it's been a while since I've read a comic book that's even featured Scar. So, I might be a little off, like, in my memories, but I just don't imagine this guy. Honestly, sitting next to me, I have the Venom from not the Venom from the movie, but the body that was used from the movie Venom and then painted to look like the comic book version of Venom. I have that action figure, and honestly, that kind of fits Scar. My imagination of Scar. That body type, maybe smaller legs. Obviously, he's pretty tall. This Venom figure, but the leanness, I guess, is what I'm talking about. So maybe give him smaller arms, smaller legs, but like the torso, that size is what I'm imagining for Scar. This works. This is what we want. This is, a figure of a character we all don't care about, but it's a figure you want in your collection regardless. Whether or not you care about them, that's irrelevant. You just want the characters from the comics in your collection, so that's the whole point. So this figure looks great. He has the cool, the little loincloth type thing, the cool boots, the gauntlets, everything like that. He looks great as an action figure. This is a wonderful action figure. But I'm just like, okay, Scar is this thing. This is what we got. So I don't know. Maybe that's just me. I also don't remember him having this hair, but thinking about it, I think I might be thinking of Dakin and not Scar when I'm thinking about his hair, because I remember him having like a mohawk type thing, but I don't know. I might be off on that assumption there. I might be off in general on Scar. Like I said, it's been probably 10 years since I've even seen Scar in a comic book. And of course, he's like a character who's like coming back because he appeared in the MCU. They're going to probably do something with him. It's not like he's going to show up and disappear. But, it's a cool figure. It looks good, so I'm excited for him. Just the most underwhelmed I've been in this entire presentation, which if this is a figure that's underwhelming out of all the figures, we're on a good roll here. So after Scar, they announced, I believe they went to the 2-pack of Iron Fist and Luke Cage, the Danny Rand Iron Fist, who looks beautiful in his iconic green and yellow kind of skin suit type thing. I don't know. It's a weird costume, but it's the costume he's had since he debuted, essentially. So he's a very cool looking figure. If you want that more iconic look, there you go. You have it in this 2-pack, the green and yellow. Comes with a ton of kung fu hands, the power effects, 2 different head sculpts. Absolutely killing it with Danny Rand. Luke Cage also killing it as far as looks. He looks like he just walked off a construction site, which is exactly what I want my Luke Cage to look like. The yellow shirt, the blue jeans, the boots, the Cage belt buckle, and the Luke Cage the what are they called? The fist things, the weapon things that you put on your fist. You know what I'm talking about. He has all that, which is exactly what you would want out of a Luke Cage. But accessories wise, he only comes with like 2 hands, head sculpt, and it's kind of like, I wish we could have gotten, I don't know, like a piece of concrete off the floor, something to hold in his hand, something cool like that. I remember back when we still had Marvel Universe action figures, the little 3-4 inch action figures that were awesome, and I missed them so much. Those were the action figures I collected when I was a kid. I didn't acknowledge the Marvel Legends. I don't even think when I was a kid they made Marvel Legends, because I think it was in that awkward period. Well, okay, I'm going on a tangent. When I was a kid, obviously they made Marvel Legends all the way up until like 2010ish, and then Hasbro bought the rights, and then they went on a hiatus until I think 2012 or 2013. So for 4 or 5 years, there was nothing, right? So that's the specific period I'm talking about of like when I was a kid. There weren't Marvel Legends because there weren't for a little bit. But I remember they had the Marvel Universe wave, which I think released separately. I think it existed during that time period. I think. I might be wrong, obviously. And I had myself a Luke Cage. He was in the black tank top. He wasn't exactly like this Luke Cage. But he came with, I remember that you know what it's called, the construction piece, the the thing you used to build buildings, that big old metal thing that it looks like an H. Maybe I'm thinking of a Hulk here, but I remember him having a piece of that to hold in his hands as like a weapon. That would have been cool to see on this Luke Cage, or something. Just give him more accessories. It felt like all the accessories went to Danny, and it's kind of like, man, don't leave Luke Cage out. Give him something to play with. But beyond that, both of these figures look absolutely wonderful, look-wise and articulation-wise. They look great. Double like butterfly joints, pinless elbows, everything that you would want in your action figure, and they look great. The two of them. Hopefully, we see I don't know, like a Jessica Jones and a Daredevil 2-pack that goes along with these two, and we'll have a Defenders, set up. A comic Defenders. I mean, we've had a Daredevil recently, but you can use another Daredevil. It's not going to hurt you to to make another 2-pack with Jessica Jones. So that was those guys, and then after that, they gave us Ghost Rider. Obviously, Danny Ketch Ghost Rider, an awesome looking figure. Now, again, when I was a kid and I became aware of who Ghost Rider was, I knew of Johnny Blaze, right? And when I think of Johnny Blaze, it's the leather jacket and the motorcycle, right? And then it like moved on to the next guy whose name I don't remember right now, but he had, the Hell Charger, and he looked a little different. He had the different skull type thing. So I just remember those two. And then going back, as I learned more about these things, it's like, there's this character wearing a leather jacket and having a motorcycle, but it's not Johnny Blaze. And I found out later it's Danny Ketch, who is this guy. So he looks wonderful. For all the people, apparently, that everyone loves Danny Ketch. He's apparently everyone's favorite version of Ghost Rider. Apparently. I don't know. I don't know anything about it. You guys do what you want to do. Perfectly fine with all that. But Danny Ketch is everyone's favorite. And then it goes on to the next guy, the current guy with the Hell Charger. Again, whose name I don't remember right now. But apparently nobody likes Johnny Blaze. And that confused me. I thought Johnny Blaze was the guy. But no, Danny Ketch is the guy. He's the 90s guy who had the cool bike and the something. I don't know what makes him appealing. I haven't read a Danny Ketch Ghost Rider book. But I do know he all the times I thought I was reading Johnny Blaze, I apparently was reading Danny Ketch. So that's something you learn, I guess, when you become an adult. I guess. I don't know. I'm very sick, so my mind's not, right. But it looks awesome. He has the spiky gauntlets, the spiky boots, the shoulder pads. Exactly what I think of when I think of Johnny Blaze, to be perfectly honest. But I guess the defining thing that makes him Danny Ketch is this beautiful looking bike that has the awesome hood ornament. And I guess before we get there, they showed off. They're like, we've had bikes before, and they pull out this classic Ghost Rider. I believe this is Johnny Blaze Ghost Rider. And I'm like, well, hold on, stop, slow down. That guy, let's re-release that guy too while we're at it. Like, let's just do that, because why not? You're not going to harm anything by having two cool Ghost Riders out there on their bikes, Like, let's get both. And they're all like, oh, let's update this guy. And it's like, you're talking about somebody else. Come on, I want both, please. Give me both. So they kind of showed off the old bike, and God, that old bike looks awesome. I really would love to see a re-release of that old bike. I know we're getting the Danny Ketch, the new guy, or I guess old guy, technically. I don't know the history of Ghost Rider, but I think technically, right? But I want both. But this Danny Ketch bike looks absolutely wonderful. They have the front piece, the skull on the front of the bike. It can slide up, it can slide down. The flaming wheels, the wheel effects, everything like that looks stunning. Has a little stand on it so you can pop a wheelie and it's like flying up in the air. It can do the Akira slide, all the things you would want to do. This thing is awesome. I'm super excited to see the Marvel Legends vehicles return. It's been a few years since we've seen these, and they did a bunch for a while. They had some characters that didn't even make sense. Like Black Widow had one, I think, and it's like, has she had a bike? I don't really know about that, but I mean, I'll take it. But they had like Punisher with his bike, who's pretty cool. I want a Punisher with the Slam Van, personally, but Punisher with his bike, Captain America with his bike, Wolverine with his bike. They went all the way to Squirrel Girl with her bike, her little moped, and Deadpool with his moped. That was pretty fun. I missed out on all of these, mind you, because they released before I was collecting. Cosmic Ghost Rider with his Cosmic bike, which I saw one time in store. Didn't get it because I'm stupid. And now it's like way too expensive for me to pick up. So it's exciting to see the return of the vehicles because it's been a while. The last vehicle we had even a chance of getting was the HasLab that failed, unfortunately. So we're not getting that. I wish we could. God, I want a Slam Van Punisher so bad. I mentioned that. If we do another HasLab within the next year, I want it to be Slam Van Punisher with the white boots, leather jacket. Just put all your freaking guns in that van. You have all these little notches for you to pop in an accessory, slide out computer thing. I don't know, because he might have that. I don't know. That I just want it, man. I have it like fully envisioned in my brain exactly how I want it to be. Like not even a detail is missing, and I can picture it perfectly, and I want it. But it's not relevant. Beyond that, this is what we got. This disjointed 85th anniversary of whatever. I don't know what any of these characters have to do with any other character. I don't get the 85th anniversary branding. Some of these characters haven't even been here. Like, Superior Spider-Man's only like 10 years old. Scar's not even that old either. Astonishing X-Men came out almost 20, not even 20. Some of these characters just don't belong in this wave. But, again, not a wave. It belong in this theme, I guess. This is just such a weird thing for them to do. I understand it's marketing, but it's cool. I'm fine with it. I'm happy we have these. Apparently, this is what, like 6 of a potential 10 figures for this little thing. So that's exciting. Not figures, 10. They said 10 items. So the 2-pack counts as 1, I guess, right? And then they left us off with a tease. They're like, oh, anybody got anything to tease? And then they brought out a rock, which could be anything. I was thinking, it could be put the sword in the stone, Excalibur type thing. I don't know, probably not. I don't even think that's the right sword, to be honest. Yeah. Something with a rock, right? Something with a rock. I don't know. It could be anything. It could be a Hulk. It could be, I don't know, absorbing man, absorbing elements, I guess. I don't know. It's such an odd shape. I can't really imagine what it's for specifically. So that's going to be it for me. I should have waited till I felt better and I wasn't so sick. But then the video wouldn't be relevant. So what's the point in that? So, okay, well, that's going to be it for me. Thank you guys so very much for watching. Let me know what you guys think. Is this as exciting for you as it was for me? Because I was pretty freaking excited, to be perfectly honest. Leave a like, leave a comment, leave a subscribe. All the things YouTubers ask you to do, just do it for me as well. This has been 34 minutes. Holy God. And I will be back in another. Bye.